There is massive bawal going on outside, or it has almost ended with celebrations. You must have heard of this UGC rollback or UGC regulation protests that have been happening for the last 2 weeks. I thought I should do a video sort of explaining what is really going on, because it is sheer madness. And I have seen a few of the debates that have been going on the media channels also, and they have completely lost it. I think everyone collectively have lost it. They have lost the plot also, and I don't think they're talking about the actual issue at hand at all. Yes, we are going to talk about UGC regulations. So without further ado, let me show you this. Before we begin, you must understand the difference between equality and equity. Yes, we are going to start from very basics. Very basics. Equality is called sameness, which means that everybody gets the same dabba, right? So if you are a short person, a medium person, or a tall person, you get the same dabba and you get to watch the same game. Equity is when the dabbas are adjusted according to your height, right? This is what our upper caste people want. Currently the people who are being referred to as Savarnas or Sanatan, or like upper caste people who have been protesting, this is what they are fighting for. And equity is what the DBA community, SC, ST, OBC community is fighting for. I thought it would be a good representation of what this whole debate is about. So I thought this is it. So what is going on? This is the University Grants Commission. It gave a notification on the 13th of January, right? This is the University Grants Commission Promotion of Equity in Higher Education Institution Regulation 2026. Again, the reason why I showed you that picture is because of this word, equity. Equity. What upset a lot of people, especially the general caste or the Savarnas, is equality. They want equality. They don't want this anymore. They want this. Everybody should get everything equally. So, in short, what is this about? This all stems from two major cases that have happened. I don't know if you remember this, but I will remind you. Two students, Rohit Vemula and Payal Tadvi, took their own life, and they alleged that there was caste discrimination that was happening against them in universities. This happened in 2016 and 2019, so in different years. Their mothers went to the Supreme Court and they asked, why is there nothing that prevents caste discrimination in higher education institutes? The Supreme Court, meanwhile, saw that there is already a rule that has been put in 2012. So the University Grants Commission has not done this for the first time. This whole thing, the University Grants Commission Promotion of Equity in Higher Education Regulation 2026, there was a similar rule that was implemented, as it is said here, the University Grants Commission Promotion of Equity in Higher Education Institution Regulations 2012. 2012 May, there was a rule that was implemented which essentially says that discrimination against people of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe is prohibited, and it flows from the Constitution of India. Discrimination should not happen. 2012. These people filed a case recently in 2019 ke baad, okay? 2020. Now, what happened is last year in January 2024, the Supreme Court said, okay, if there are rules that already exist, why are these people complaining? Why are there so many complaints that are coming? And they asked the government, do you have any data to show ki kitne complaints aaye? Is this even working? The 2012 rules, which were supposed to prevent all of this from happening, is it working? The answer is no. So this is data which I must show you. From 173 to 378, UGC's 5-year data shows surge in caste discrimination complaints on campuses. So this was provided to a Parliamentary Standing Committee on Education last year. This committee was especially formed to explore the question of caste discrimination on campuses. This is a parliamentary committee. Out of the 31 members, 15 of them are BJP MPs. Okay, it was headed by Digvijay Singh. important, बाद में आएगा वो reference, but याद रखना, okay? So it says that number of reported complaints of caste discrimination in university campus saw an uptick over 5 years. From 2019, 173 in 2019-2020 to 378 in 2023-24. Okay, this was data provided by the UGC, the people who put out the rules. But there is a very weird thing. The data was based on details collected from 2,256 higher education institutions, comprising 704 universities and 1,553 colleges. This is important because the total number of colleges, this is actually a very tiny fraction of the total number of colleges that they collected data from. Education Ministry's All India Survey of Higher Education says that there are 1,168 universities and 45,473 colleges. So this sample size led to these figures, and even that showed an increase. So this data came forward, and then the Supreme Court was like, okay, so this is not working, right? And the UGC had to somehow accept that, yeah, I guess kind of not working, whatever. So the Supreme Court said, ki, okay, last year again, they said that you have to tighten the rules. So the regulations of 2012 are not working. The government has to come up with new regulations or improve on the current regulations and make them more effective, so that cases of discrimination do not happen, right? Now, there are a few things that they noticed, like the committee also noticed during that time. One is that there was no way for the UGC to even track if there are complaints happening in universities, as you can see from the data gathering that they have done. The second is that there was no mechanism to address false complaints. Right? So if there are any false complaints happening and it is proven that it's a false complaint, then the person who is making the complaint should be punished, right? And the third thing was that OBCs were not included in the earlier regulations, right? So the committee looked at this and they said that, listen, please include all three things. Pehle to implement karo, and there should be a tracking mechanism. Second is, please include OBCs. And the third is, please include a provision which says that false complaints can be dealt with. Now, the thing is, it went a little wild after that. This is what they came up with, which was published on 13th of January 2026. Now, without going into too much detail here, I just want to show you a few things here, okay? 2-3 things. One is the definitions. So, the protest that is currently happening is because of these two particular clauses. Okay, so now this is, in case you don't know, this is how laws are written. मैं कुछ assume नहीं कर रहा हूँ, okay? I will explain it, but this is how laws are written. First, they have to define all the terms. Caste-based discrimination has been defined as discrimination only on the basis of caste or tribe against members of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and OBCs. So they have included OBCs. So one thing that they asked for, they did. There is another one, which is discrimination, means unfair, differential, or biased treatment on any such act against stakeholder, which explicit or implicit on the grounds only of religion, race, caste, gender, place of birth, disability, or any of them. It also includes any distinction, exclusion, limitation, or preference which has the purpose or effect of nullifying or impairing quality of treatment in education, and in particular of imposing conditions on any stakeholder or group of stakeholders which are incompatible with human dignity. In short, what they are saying is that caste-based discrimination has been defined as discrimination against these particular groups of people, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes only, right? But there is another separate discrimination that they have mentioned, which is unfair and differential treatment based on religion, race, caste, gender, place of birth, disability, or any of the above. So the new regulations are essentially saying that, of course, there is a caste-based discrimination category which needs to be dealt with, but there is also a larger discrimination category which needs to be dealt with as well. They are defining both of them. This is important. So what do they want exactly, right? And remember when I told you that they have to track it. So this regulation says that now there will be an equal opportunity center that will be created in every university, in every higher education institution, actually, not just university, so colleges also. Now this equal opportunity center will look at like the overview of whether any discrimination is happening within a college, a campus, hostels, etc. The second is there will be a committee under this, right, which will be comprising of the VC, the head of the institution. There will be professors, there will be representatives from civil society, and also there will be three members who will be nominated from OBC, SC, ST, and two members. One will be a woman and one will be a person with disability. So five reserved positions in this committee, sorry, and also five others which are faculty and the VC. Interestingly enough, the job of this committee, my bad, under the equity center would be to take complaints from people who are facing discrimination, right? They are supposed to take it, they're supposed to investigate it, they're supposed to solve it within, so they're supposed to respond to the complaint first in 24 hours, then they have to do an investigation in 15 days, and then they have to file a report with the head of the institution, and then action needs to be taken in 30 days. So they have put a timeline. Right now, what does the center do? Center looks at all these things happening and submits a report to the UGC. So the UGC will essentially get like a tracking mechanism for how much caste discrimination is happening across universities. And if any university or college or higher education institution does not do this, then they will stop getting grants. They will not be able to do certificate courses. So basically UGC unko disqualify kar dega. So it is an existential issue for them now. Another thing, the third thing, okay, now this might be in sort of problematic territory. The interesting thing in this regulation then is that under the committee itself, they are going to form something called equity squads. I'll read it. Every HEI shall also constitute a smaller body to be known as equity squads with such representations as is considered necessary for maintaining vigil and preventing any discrimination on the campus. The HEI may constitute the equity squads in the required numbers, and such squads will remain mobile and visit the vulnerable spots frequently. The equity squads shall submit their reports to coordinator of Equal Opportunity Center. And then they have to also appoint an equity ambassador who will be the torch bearer of equity on the campus, shall remain in touch with coordinator of Equal Opportunity Center. This is what the regulation overall is, right? Now, why are there problems? Why are there protests that have been happening? First, I already told you, which is caste-based discrimination and discrimination. The problem that people are having, especially of the general caste or upward caste, is that only SC, ST and OBC have been included in caste discrimination. Why no general category has been included in caste discrimination? Are these people the people, the UGC, is it saying that there is no caste discrimination against general people or what? Savarna ko khilaf kabhi discrimination hota nahi hai kya? And then JSI Deepak type people have been going on TV and they have been saying, as a Brahmin, I have faced so much caste discrimination when I went to a university. I was from Tamil Nadu, I went to university and I got discriminated for being Brahmin. Again, anecdotal evidence, all of it, anecdotal evidence. So one of the things they are saying ki, oh, but why only these people? Why, right? It makes no sense because the actual definition of description actually includes them and more. So, for example, it includes grounds of religion. So, if it's a Muslim being discriminated against, that is included. Race, if it is a skin color issue, that is included. Caste issue, again, any caste included. Gender, also included. Place of birth, also included. Matlab regionalism, language, all sorts of things. Disability is also included. So What the hell? There are two, I feel like, bit of legitimate points. One is, remember when I told you that the committee had said ki false complaint shouldn't be filed and there should be action taken against people who file false complaints? That is nowhere here. It is not there. So that is the problem. Even the committee has said, which included Digvijay Singh, who was heading it. So all parties in that committee agreed that this needs to be addressed, which is false complaints which are being filed, and there needs to be punishment. There needs to be a mechanism to address those false complaints also. That is nowhere here. So one part is they are saying that, oh, general category ke khilaf discrimination hota nahi hai kya? That is the problem. The second is the false complaint thing. Now, I agree with the false complaint thing. If there is an effective mechanism to actually address false complaints, then okay, I'm okay with it. I think there should be a provision there. But the first one makes no sense. It just makes no sense because everybody is included in this. Like literally race, gender, birth, religion, caste, सब कुछ include किया है. So this equity committee is going to look at all of these parameters. All of them. I was trying to figure out ये क्यों चल रहा है? Why is there a bawal protest batshitness happening? Okay, this is the opinion that I have, so you can discard it completely or leave like galis in the comment, whatever you want. I feel like when Savarna privilege, when upper caste privilege is being challenged, or it seems like it is being challenged, it gets awkward. That's it. That's the bottom line. Yahan pe. This bawal that is happening, I feel is coming from a place of misinformation, maybe, or like they don't really know what is happening, and then it has been turned into a bawal. The thing is, though, it is, I think, for the first time I'm seeing that the people who support the BJP the most are the ones who are also outraged with them the most. Like, for example, there are people who shall not be named. There are BJP very, like, proud soldiers of BJP IT cell se leke or influencer crowd, which is suddenly like, oh, BJP. There is one influencer who shall not be named, said that the education minister needs to get a kick on his bum and nails have to be put in his. मैंने नहीं बोला, उसने बोला. I'm not even naming him. That guy has been saying shit like this. There is like absolutely vile commentary coming suddenly against Modi ji and Dharmendra Pradhan, who is the education minister. And it's very confusing, friends. I'll tell you why it's confusing. Look at the sequence of events that I just explained to you. 2012, already a rule exists which prevents discrimination in higher education institutions. Rule has not been implemented properly, so it is basically a regulation that is just existing on paper, but nothing is happening. 2016, 2019, two students take their own lives alleging caste discrimination. Their mothers file a case asking, why aren't these 2012 rules being implemented? Why are these things happening still in our higher education institutions? Supreme Court asks the government, ki, bhai, what is happening? Please give data. UGC gives some data which is half-baked, weird, kya ho raha hai, whatever bit data. Then they realize ki, oh shit, UGC ka tracking mechanism hi nahi hai. They can't even get data on this. So then the Supreme Court is like, boss, like, improve this, tighten this, do something about this. It goes to a committee. The committee examines it. The Parliamentary committee, which has BJP members in it, 15 of them, they examine it, they give like suggestions, which come in the form of a report. Now the government takes those suggestions and ignores one particular one, which is the false complaints one, takes one which is including OBC in the category of people here, and publishes the rules. The government, the UGC, the education minister together published this rule 2 weeks ago. Then protests start. बहुत protest, okay, like especially again in the UP, the Hindi belt, concentrated protest. All news channels are also covering it with very gusto. Like it's like, oh my god, देखो general category के बच्चों के खिलाफ कैसा discrimination हो रहा है. All the you have seen the debate. If you haven't, please don't watch because it's all freaking garbage. Anyway, so that starts. Uncomfortable होते हैं. The influencer types are like, oh, bum पे लात मारो type nonsense करने लगते हैं. Then challenges are put in the Supreme Court. Today something bizarre happens. This is where the raita actually started following in like absolute abandoned raita following happening like this. Supreme Court stays new UGC regulations on caste-based discrimination. It will lead to very dangerous impacts. Seeking a reply from the centre, the Supreme Court told Solicitor General Tushar Mehta that the government must reconstitute a committee comprising eminent jurists to address the issue of UGC regulation. So today, the Supreme Court stayed this regulation. Yeah, so the regulation that happened because of the Supreme Court was stayed by the Supreme Court. It makes no sense. It's like blowing my mind a little bit. I don't understand. So the next hearing that is going to happen on this is going to be in March, and the Supreme Court said that, oh, we need to go back to the 2012 rules only. So इतने time जो हो रहा था वो क्या हो रहा था? Why? What is happening? It makes no sense to me. What is weirder? Okay, now this is the territory which I need to give disclaimer. I respect the Supreme Court. I think the judges there are honorable. I think they are very smart people. I think they are excellent people. I am a nobody. Honorable judges. This is what I want to say is my view. View. You're very honorable. So, Chief Justice of India, Surya Kant, and Justice Joymala Bagchi ordered the 2026 regulation be kept in abeyance. So, he said that there are 4 or 5 questions which arise out of this consideration. Otherwise, this will be it will have sweeping consequences. It will divide society and it will lead to very dangerous impact. That is what Honorable Chief Justice of India, Kant, said. We should not go to the stage where we go to segregated schools as in the United States, where colored children go to one school and white boys and girls go to another school. Unity of India must be reflected in educational institutions. So CJI referred to this situation where student faces harassment on regional lines and asked whether this is addressed in the regulations. When a student of South India, suppose he gets admission in an institution in North India or vice versa, and some kind of sarcastic, insulting or humiliating comments are made against such student, the caste identity of the victim and the attackers are not known. Will this provision, regulation 3E, address the issue? The answer is yes. I mean, it's clear. I don't know, guys. I'm stupid. Maybe I sometimes wonder if I'm stupid, which I very well might be. And our judges are honorable and smart, so they're asking this question now. They're asking the center to clarify whether this situation where someone from South India goes to North India and gets discriminated against, will they be protected? The center has to say yes or no. I think yes. Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain, who appeared for one of the petitioners, submitted regulation 31E in the new rules defined discrimination. There was no need for a separate definition of caste-based discrimination. So their argument now is that so the people who are opposing these rules, the petitioners, they were saying ki, why you need this? You have this E, so why you need this? So it's very weird, right? So the wordings also like confused me a little bit, but honestly, this has happened time and again throughout our law, as per my understanding. The SC/ST Atrocities Act, which is a very major act, it specifically talks about caste-based discrimination. Right? It is very descriptive in nature, and it is meant to be descriptive in nature. I think it is important to mention caste-based discrimination separately. But also there is another definition of discrimination. So in case my reading of this is both are covered. So even general category people will be covered here. People with different religion will be covered. People with different gender, caste, race, सब कुछ cover किया है. Place of birth also. So problem क्या है? Seeking a reply from the centre, the bench also told Solicitor General Tushar Mehta that the government should take the court in confidence and obtain its approval for setting up a committee of eminent jurists. So now they are saying that, oh, look at this is what is happening. We have to set up a committee to figure this out. It's a problematic thing. Please figure it out. We cannot have university, schools and colleges in isolation. They are a component of society. How should the entire society grow? In which direction should we go? How will people behave outside campus if we create this kind of environment inside the campus? We may not also be experts on all these issues, but those who understand societal issues must apply their minds. In a country after 75 years, whatever we have gained in terms of developing a casteless society, are we going in a regressive policy? He asked about separate hostels. Okay, another provision which I'm finding is an indication among the measures you are taking. You are speaking of separate hostels. For God's sake, don't do that. We have lived in hostels. Every community has students living together. We have developed intercaste marriages also. We should move forward to develop a casteless society. Okay, I read this bit. This is the CJI talking, by the way. And I went around trying to find the provision of this. It's this segregation according to caste that is going to happen in hostels. Okay, so I'm just going to Control F. Hostel. This is the provision, by the way. Every HEI shall designate at least one stakeholder in each unit's department facilities, hostels, libraries, facilities, equity ambassador. Okay, that is one. So that is one hostel. This is the other one. Before commencement of each academic session, head of institution will convene and address a meeting of various functionaries such as hostel wardens, students, etc. Okay. Higher education institutions shall ensure that selection, segregation or allocation for the purpose of hostels, classrooms, mentorship groups or any other academic purposes is transparent, fair and non-discriminatory. Where is it said that there will be caste-based segregation for hostels? It's actually saying the opposite? Or am I might be stupid. I'm sorry, honorable judges. Guys, I am stupid. I think I misread this. Any academic purposes is transparent, fair and non-discriminatory. So yeah, that's the story, friends. That's the whole story. This is what is going on. And now for some theory. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Honestly, you have to ask yourself, why is this happening? One, because I think the court gave a good decision earlier saying that no, please tighten the rules because caste-based discrimination hota hai hamare society mein. It's true. It is the truth. It's just the truth, right? Second, Rohit Vemula and other people have lost their lives because of caste discrimination, and that it is a very big reality. The third thing is that the Supreme Court said this. The Parliament also proposed some things. They put out these rules. The government put out these rules, but they ignored the false complaint things. I don't understand why. I don't understand why the false complaint provision was removed or not added at all, right? Fourth thing, OBCs ko add kiya, welcome step. I think everybody was okay with that. Fifth thing, why are people protesting? Who are these people? Why are they misreading everything that is happening here, right? And then sixth thing, Supreme Court, why is it staying this? This has happened because Supreme Court only ordered this. So maybe one thing that we need to think about is was the government very awkward when it put this out and there were protests and now they are like, oh, thank God, Supreme Court, thank you. You saved us. Oh my God, this was a weird law that we drafted and it caused a very weird impact on the people who support us and we couldn't say anything because the government was caught between a rock and a hard place. BJP is trying to appease the DBA community, OBC, etc. Prime Minister is also OBC. We have a Dalit president, all the things. Tribal president, my bad. Ex-president was Dalit. So they're kind of showing that, oh no, we want these people. They're also trying to appease the Savarna Hindu crowd and also the upper caste and everything. So they want to become like this party. Now what is happening is that they're stuck in a rock and a hard place. Oh, if we try to appease these people, then they will get angry. If we try to appease these people, they will get angry. If we withdraw this, then they will get angry. If we keep this, then they will get angry. So now what? Supreme Court is like, array, leave it to us. Stay. Form an eminent jurist ka committee and please figure this out. Job well done. Job well done. That's the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Also, by the way, friendos, if you are noticing, I didn't do a stream this week. The reason is I am going to stop streaming publicly now. The only way that I'm going to stream is for members. Look at this. This is all the members crowd. We are talking about this issue. We are recording this video. There will be more recorded videos coming your way now. But for members, there will be streams available where this recording is happening. We will discuss this. We will analyze this, and they will call me out live. So for a while, I am not going to do any public streams on this channel, but there will be more videos coming your way, which will be recorded videos. Just saying. If you miss my live streams, please become a member. ज़्यादा नहीं है, 89 rupees basic. Please become a member, subscribe, and I hope you liked this video. Please share करो.